economist and a fellow at the Hoover Institution. He's going to talk about the national economy. So, and he's a PhD in the economics field. So let's get on with the show. Today we have a very special speaker. Brian Sussman studied meteorology back in the University of Missouri and became the weather guy at KPX Channel 5 for a decade before moving to KSFO 560 Radio to become one of the most popular radio celebrities in the Bay Area. Brian is going to provide us a combination of his meteorological background and his radio personality as he discusses the hoax that is man-made global warming. His topic is the same as his new book, Climategate. Let's give a warm Silicon Valley welcome to Brian Sussman.
You're going to sit here the whole time. No bell. No bell. No bell. We'll leave the no bell to guys like Barack Obama and Al Gore. Debate me, Al Gore! Debate me, Al Gore! Actually, that is my website, as you know, debatemealgore.com. That's where you can learn all about Climategate, the book, debatemealgore.com. Al Gore came out with his book touting global warming in 1992. I've got a little clock on my website. It's been like 6,678 days since the book came out, and he's never had a debate, ever. And somebody told me, well, Brian, debating Al Gore would be like debating a sock puppet. It's Al Gore. But listen, once you read the book Climategate, I promise you, you will not only be able to debate Al Gore, you'll be able to debate that hippie in the next cubicle, that crazy cousin at Christmas, that little niece of yours that went and got polluted at Stanford. I mean, you know, all of that. Do I have some Stanford grads here tonight? Or you're the sane ones? You're the ones who didn't take classes with Paul Ehrlich, huh? Very good, very good, very nice, very nice. It's wonderful to be here. I am so honored, and I'm so pumped up to meet so many good red, white, and blue Americans. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. The story of this group is so fantastic. You gave me the story, you shared a little bit here. Just 20 people, you know, a few years ago, and it grows to this. It's awesome. It's a great testimony. And I want to tell you, I am having the time of my life on KSFO, the #1 talk station in the Bay Area. I am on right now with this book tour. The book tour, it's a virtual book tour. Tomorrow morning I'll be on a station back east at 4:20 a.m. and I just go all day long talking to radio stations. And so, you know, they want to know about my TV weather career, and then they want to know about the book. But then they always ask the question, so what are you doing on the radio? And what is a conservative station doing in the Bay Area? Does anybody listen to it? And I say, oh yeah, it's the #1 talk station in the Bay Area. And I always mention we're broadcasting live from the House Madam's backyard. And they do a little double take like, House Madam, House Madam. You know, the woman who runs the brothel, otherwise known as Congress? Yeah, that woman right there. Stretch Pelosi, that's the one we're talking about. Nancy Pelosi, I like that. Don't say BS, just say Pelosi. Same thing, that's what you're going to get. You get the same thing. So wonderful to hear from so many candidates who have decided to take a risk and run for office. This is just awesome. We got great people all over the United States. I'm talking to some of these candidates all over the United States who are running in districts where it's quite likely they're going to win, and I'll tell you what I'm pumped on. We have 32 African-American conservatives running for Congress. Do you realize that all these people win? If they win, the Congressional Black Caucus is going to have more Republican members than Democrats. These are exciting times. They really are. Oh, I know, at times it seems like it's the worst of times, All we have to do is look at the health care bill, which is now law. But let me tell you something, there is a great chance that we'll be able to repeal this altogether. That's why we need to support good candidates here and all over the United States to make sure good men and women, statesmen, are representing us in Washington, D.C. We have to do this. Our future is at risk here, ladies and gentlemen. The union is at stake. We need to do this for our kids, our grandchildren. We need to do this. Now, there's a 1-2 punch. Everywhere I go and I talk about my book, I say this is a 1-2 punch. You see what they have planned right now is first health care, then they're going to nail us with this cap and trade. And this cap and trade bill will absolutely destroy this country economically. And it will place within our household, as I talk about in the book, Big Brother's going to be in your house. And I'll get into this a little bit later as we allow the conversation to unfold. But that's why I'm telling people, if we would have had one book, that would have told us why Pelosi and Reid were trying to jam Obamacare down our throats. And what would happen to us if Obamacare became law and was instituted. If we had one book that told us all that, maybe Obamacare wouldn't have passed. But we didn't have that one book. Instead, we were all scrambling, doing research on our own. I believe ClimateGate is the one book that will why they're trying to pass cap and trade, and what we stand to lose should this bill become law. We will lose personal wealth and savings. We will lose jobs like you can't believe. I talk about it in the book, and personal liberty and privacy lost if this bill passes. So those of you who purchased the book, thank you. We need to get the word out. It's likely that we're going to run out here tonight. If we do, please promise me you'll go to Amazon.com, order ClimateGate. We're going to have the conservative forum surge on Amazon.com ordering ClimateGate because we need to get the word out. We need our friends, relatives, neighbors all over the United States. We need this book in every school, library in America. The truth must be told, so I thank you so much for your support. Thank you very much. So, ClimateGate. For years, I have been coming home from school and then work, telling anyone who would listen to me about the crazy things that I sort of pick up along the way. I've just got this mind for weird, odd, strange stories. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I remember coming home from the first Earth Day, and I read a little bit about it in the paper, and I told my parents, the founder of Earth Day, you won't believe this. This guy won't print Earth Day bumper stickers because he says there shouldn't be any cars. Now, I was a teenager telling my parents this kind of stuff, and they looked at me thinking, no way. Yeah, no, it's true. I read it today in the paper. Fast forward then, that was 1970. Fast forward to 1974. I read Paul Ehrlich's book, the good Stanford professor, The Malthusian, A Population Bomb. And I remember telling my parents, this guy in this book, Population Bomb, he's equating overpopulation with a cancer. And he says sometimes the cancer needs to be cut out of the body in order to make the rest of the body whole. This guy's equating overpopulation with a cancer, and he's saying sometimes you just have to kill the extra people. I remember my parents saying, no way. I said, it's in the book, it's in the book. And then move a little bit forward, I remember I was working for Channel 11 in San Jose. I was their weather guy. And I remember reading Silent Spring by Rachel Carson, which you can still buy in the bookstores. And she goes off on DDT, as if it's this big toxin. I remember coming home and telling my wife about this professor from San Jose State who was speaking at a Rotary Club against the evils of DDT. And he started his talk by placing a teaspoon of DDT in a glass of water, stirring it, and consuming it. To which my wife and my colleagues at work said, no way. And I said, yes, I saw the guy, he did this. And that gentleman, by the way, lived to be 84, and he died hiking